Dana Balkanson, one of the co-directors of Leadership Training Camp, also known simply as LT Camp. LT Camp is a week-long experience every summer for young leaders who have been identified in their congregation as displaying gifts of leadership and who might like to strengthen those gifts in service to God, the church, school, and in other ways. Leadership may look like serving in worship roles, serving on committees or church council, volunteering with your youth group, Sunday school, or vacation Bible school. A young person may lead in different ways in the church in their communities. LT Camp is for all different kinds of leaders. Participants spend a week every July with a group of peers who have also been identified to strengthen their gifts and to experience different interactive learning opportunities designed to help them celebrate and enhance their leadership gifts, challenging them to harness those gifts in service to their families, congregations, communities, and the world. In addition to those different learning opportunities, there's also plenty of time for other camp activities, which include great food, relationship building, all camp rec, and a healthy mix of fun and faith formation. LT Camp is for 9th through 12th graders who already exhibit leadership gifts and skills in their congregations, their schools, homes, and their communities, so they can receive intentional training in what it means to be Christian leaders in the world. We are committed to helping young people grow in confidence and become faithful leaders and servants of Christ in all aspects of their lives. If you or a young person you know want to learn more about LT Camp and how the LT Camp recommendation process works, you can find out more by talking to your youth worker, pastor, or by visiting us online. To learn more, let's hear from some of the young people who have attended this camp.
LT Camp has altered my life course, and that I will be a much more successful person and leader in life due to it, and I will be always grateful for LT Camp. As soon as you arrive, there's an electricity in the air, and it feels like everything's going to be all right. It feels safe, and as you get into the week, you really start to see that these are people, and this is a place where you can feel safe and people that you can trust.
LT Camp is not only a great place to grow in your leadership, but it's also a place where the community is just so amazing and you make so many lifelong friends. Before I came to LT Camp, my faith was never really something I talked about. And then after being at LT Camp for 4 years, it's something I'm really passionate about. Even after my first year at camp, I felt really close to God and grew a lot stronger in my faith. So now when I'm at home, I'm really passionate about talking about my faith and how LT Camp has impacted it.
LT Camp has taught me that what a servant leader even is. I feel like when in society we're taught that a leader is someone who takes control and uses their power to manipulate other people, but LT Camp has taught me that being a servant leader is you work for others and you put other people first, and that teaches you how to be compassionate to others, and you can use that in any relationship.
A servant leader is what Jesus was. Jesus gave the perfect example of a servant leader.
And once I arrived at LT Camp, they opened my eyes to what it meant to be a servant leader, to not always be in the front, but to be able to lead in multiple different ways, to be able to lead from the middle, from the back, and the ability to be able to step back and assess strengths and weaknesses and be a better leader overall. Before I got to LT Camp, it was like I was kind of living in life like out of color with my faith, and that it was there, but it was just kind of chilling. And once I got to LT Camp, it was like everything was in color. It started to make a lot more sense, and being able to relate to peers my age and be able to talking to them about it has been extremely enlightening for me and life-changing and life-altering.
There's a community that everyone here, cares. And it's really easy to make friends, and it's really easy to love. It teaches you so much about leadership, but also just how to love and how to be the best person you can be, how to be the best Christian you can be.
When you arrive here, it's such an amazing environment where everyone feels accepted, no matter their gender, their race, their sexual preference. Everything is just here to teach you how to be a leader, and a good leader accepts and loves everyone, just like Jesus did.
leadership is a big word. And when you're talking to teenagers about it, what I've always found interesting is that a majority of the young people who come to the leadership training camp here in the Lower Susquehanna Synod come not imagining that they are leaders. A pastor or a youth worker identified them and encouraged them to be part of this community. But like is true of so many of us when we are teenagers, we might have some insecurities, we might doubt our gifts, we might not be sure how we could possibly live into the title of leader. But what happens at LT Camp is that a community comes around these young people, their peers, their counselors, the staff, and help them to begin to imagine themselves in a new way. Allow them the freedom to begin to explore who they are and whose they are, and to remind them that they are beloved children of God and that God will walk with them, that Christ is with them in the midst of their own discovery. And so we really try to approach this with three questions in mind. And that is, who am I? Do I matter? And what is God calling me to? Like, what might be the possibilities? And so we try to equip leaders for service in their homes and congregations, but also in their communities or schools and in the world. It's a really powerful community to be a part of, and I feel blessed that God has placed me in this environment and given me the chance to walk with so many powerful young leaders as they emerge and begin to become servants in Christ in the manner of Jesus.